Imagine this. You are bored, stuck at home, maybe even having one of those really bad days. You want to play some nice game that could take you to a better place, but at the same time, you're kinda broke. Then, what can you do? Well, my dear fellow gamer, I know you probably get every free game that Epic has given you the access to for free. And how do I know it? Because you wouldn't click this video title otherwise. And trust me, Epic Games has given us access to some really precious little gems, and most of them are fairly underrated too. For this reason, I had to make this video happen. So, let's talk about the most underrated indie games that were free on Epic. And this sounds weirdly specific, I know. Now, let's begin. For quite obvious reason, I didn't pick such beloved titles like My Time at Portia. Yes, it is a wonderful indie game that was free on Epic, and it can help you relax greatly, but this was a subject on so many reviews already that I will cut you a slack on this one. First, I am going to talk about my favorite game on this list. Mutazione was released in 2019 by Die Gute Fabrik, and this game is everything that I connect in my mind with a cozy feeling. You play as a teenager protagonist who visits her dying grandpa on a mysterious island inhabited with mutants. You may wonder, why are they mutants? Well, that would be spilling too much in the same beginning, I guess. The world of Mutazione is colorful, exciting, kind of magical, and it hides a lot of mysteries. But it's not like creepy mysteries, and there is no pressure that makes you feel that you have to progress with the story to find out. It sort of happens as the secondary effect, as you wander through the island, connect with the villagers, get to know their stories, and trying to reveal the secrets that they are hiding, because of course there are always hidden secrets in those games. Your additional goal in the game, which also makes you progress to the next stages, is taking care of magic plants. And I'm saying magic are not like regular plants, because they are producing sounds when you take good care of them. So you gather a lot of beautiful seeds and plant them, and when they grow, they start to sing. They start to play music, and it forms some sort of little orchestra. So you are not only creating a beautiful garden where you can sit down and admire, but you can also create a very specific type of music. When it comes to those flowers, bushes and trees, there are many types in the game, and they all have very different kind of sounds. There is even an additional feature in this game, when you can create your own garden apart from the main plot. You can put any flowers, any plants, any trees that you have in mind, and create a melody that is unique, individual, and created solely by you. It can create a particular mood or feeling. When it comes to plot, it's pretty enjoyable, if not very original, but I think the authors of this game did not try to pretend that its story is super unique. They know that they haven't come up with something totally new. I think they are aware of the fact that the young girl that comes to a reed village or island searching for the cure for her sick grandpa is not only popular, but it's also a part of most old fairy tales. But it doesn't mean it's bad. It has this wonderful, sweet, subtle atmosphere, something unspeakable, like the creators really put the heart into it, and you can feel it when you play this game. The story might be simple. The gossips that you learn when you talk with villagers might also be, kinda generic, I guess. But it doesn't make this experience any less. You just kind of embrace and experience everything, the beauty of the world, the friendliness of the mutant villagers, the relationships that you make. You connect with the characters, and you really want to learn more about them along the way. What I adore about this game is that it doesn't pretend or try to be mind-blowing. It's simple and cozy and very beautiful. It just lets you get new plants and then plant them and then listen to the music, and then you solve the problems of other villagers, and some problems you are waiting for them to solve. Sometimes you are only a silent observer, and it's very beautiful. I'm still remembering this game, even though I played it some time ago. When I replayed some parts for the sake of this video, I got this warm feeling, like I came back to something good, like home. I was feeling very safe while playing it, and that's why it lands on this list. I know that probably not many of you heard of this game, and I know that there are not many gameplays of it online, but I genuinely invite you to try Mutazione. Because if you vibe with anything that I just said about it, if anything of that gives you a cozy feeling, then the probability is high that you will enjoy it and let yourself soak into the story. When I finished the game myself, I remember I felt sad that this is the end and I won't be able to know what happens in character's life further. I guess there could be a sequel to the story, because there is a plenty of space for new stories, but I'm aware of the fact that this game didn't get so much attention among the gamers, and this probably won't happen. I know I probably can't do much about it, but if you are watching this video and you think that you might actually enjoy this game, I highly encourage you to give it a try. Maybe support the creators with buying one copy. And no, nobody paid me for saying this, but please feel free to do so. I know Alto's Adventure is fairly popular, but it's still on this list because it is far more popular on the mobile platform. It's also one of the few examples when I think that the game that was mainly released for Android and iOS is still very good on PC. It has its negative side, and I know that some of you guys that have played it on mobile might be a little bit skeptical about this game being on my list. But hear me out. This game was free on Epic Games, and I think it's the only advantage we really need. But not only that, I honestly think this game is very good, and it can help with coping with your anxiety. Why is that? So, the first and most important reason is that it's simply very beautiful. You launch this game and you're already in awe. This game has such great UI and UX that you just want to keep playing it, keep clicking it. You don't even have to start your gameplay to enjoy Alto, because even the menu is amazing. After it slowly disappears, you can see a pasture of llamas, and you're just listening to all those ASMR sounds, and looking how the weather is changing, and sometimes it rains, sometimes it snows, and the color palette is very soothing. You can even play the menu in the background and read the book, and it's still enormously relaxing. The gameplay itself, I'm not gonna lie, it has some drawbacks, and the dynamics could be a little bit better. The obstacles could be a little bit more easy to spot when you start your first gameplay. Especially at the initial phase, it might be difficult to move on with the missions and earning the llama coins. But nevertheless, it's quite relaxing, and just as I said, the interface is so nice that this game simply wants to be played. You won't even know how you got immersed so quickly. Also, if you don't feel like fulfilling several goals, Alto offers a Zen mode. Now you don't have to worry about earning coins or stumbling across the rocks. The gameplay will continue for as long as you want, which is a great way to relax in difficult moments. Air Memories of Old is a game by Didlik Entertainment, published in 2019. And to be honest, I haven't played it until I decided on the topic of this video. But because I wanted to make a proper research for it, I reached out for those games that would be a new discovery for me as well. And I'm very glad I chose this approach. I played Air for a few hours until now, and I can definitely recommend it as a nice way to relax and keep you away from your uncomfortable thoughts. It's simple and immersive enough to make you occupied with it in just a few minutes. We play as a young girl that can transform into a bird, and that way we can explore the floating islands of this colorful world. What I like about it the most is that its aesthetic knows perfect balance between mystery and light-hearted loveliness. Sometimes you search through dark caves, but most of the time you spend in the airy, spacious sky, watching the wonderful views. Also, personally, I like games that don't feel too empty, if you know what I mean. Sure, Journey with its minimalistic gameplay can be a wonderful way to escape for many people. But when I was having some really crappy days, it didn't really work for me. It was beautiful and calm, sure, but too lonely, I guess. And Air seems to wonderfully balance that aspect out. Just as its name suggests, it's full of space, and that also means the one that is left for each player to make their own journey and their own narrative in their minds. But the world of Air is not empty. You can talk with people, you can actually fulfill some quests, and everything seems like a heartwarming adventure. If you are a person that doesn't like the overwhelming silence on shitty days, believe me, this game is tailored for us specifically. A Short Hike by Adam Greyer is last but not least important on this list. Actually, the game is already perfectly explained at the same beginning. Just look. You play as a cute bird Claire, and you are on the trip to the mountains. Along the way, you meet adorable animal characters, gather golden feathers to fly higher and higher, and eventually, this allows you to get to the highest peak. I think the best appeal of short hike is that you feel transferred to a whole new world, where pace is slower, and the only thing worth achieving is your own peace of mind. Sure, you do some quests, but they are hilarious and heartwarming, and you don't feel like you have to achieve something. The graphic is simple, pixelated, and brings sweet nostalgia to those who remember these kind of games from their childhood. Even though there is a clear purpose of hiking up the highest mountain to get reception on your phone, the game doesn't rush you to do it. Quite the opposite. The joy can be easily found along the way. Have you played the games on this list? Does any of them have a special place in your heart? Do you feel like talking some more about it? Because I would love to discuss some aspects from these games, especially Mutazione and Short Hike, which seem to get too little attention from the community. I would also absolutely love if you could recommend something similar. I am always ready for some good relaxing game. Speaking of, I have some plans to record more top relaxing game series. Honestly, I think it is important to share this kind of recommendations during current times. Stay safe, and let's meet on the next video.